Mrs. Sieber is the other individual that was really impacted. She was there in Dublin, and he persuaded her to participate that. And she was very reluctant because, I mean, you know, she was an adulterer. She had gone through this sex scandal. She was notorious. And even though it was Dublin, they all knew. And he wants her to participate in a religious piece of music. And he had to do a lot of persuading. And that was part of the fictional bit that I did in the book, was how he persuaded her to sing that piece. But she finally agreed to do it, and she was going to, and I think in her mind is probably, I think they were going to do 2 or 3 performances in Dublin, and I think in her mind that's all she was going to do. And one of the pieces that she has to do in this is the part was written not for her, but the part was written for her voice, and she was a mezzo soprano. And the piece is, he was despised and rejected. And apparently she was, one of the things that people liked about her, somebody said about her that she sang, like most singers sing to the ear, she sang to the heart. Somehow she had a way of, in her voice and in her movements and in the way she projected the music, she had a way of touching people. And that was part of the secret of her success. And this piece so moved people that there was a man by the name of Patrick Delaney, who was he was the associate dean at the cathedral. He was one of the ones that wanted Swift to change his mind, and he was behind the choirs going and participating with the performance. And in the middle of this, at the end of this piece, even today, when that piece ends, there's this hush that sort of comes over before the audience is silent, and the music hasn't yet started on the next number. And in this silence, all of a sudden, Patrick Delaney was in one of the balconies, stood up and just shouted, and again, tears flowing down his face. He said, "Woman, for this all your sins be forgiven." He was so moved by her. She then, and this performance, this debut in Dublin was like winning the Oscars and the Tonys and the Junos and all the big awards. Like this was the biggest thing that ever hit Dublin. They couldn't cram enough people into the thing. They had to do more performances because so many people wanted to hear it. The newspaper reports were just mind-blowing. All of that gets back to London. And Handel decides to go back to London and do the performance. And this is not in the book, but he persuaded Susanna Sieber to come back to London to perform. And her career then picked up again. So to me, the individual aspect is, you know what? Keep going. Persevere. Yeah, you're at the bottom now, but just keep going. And that's hard. It's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way many times. And I just feel like I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to quit. Keep going. Handel did it. You can do it. So that's the story of Messiah.